Leave me alone. Please.
Just talk to me for 2 minutes and I'll leave you alone.
Oh my God. It's too damn early for this shit. Leave me alone.
How do you dress like this? What are you trying to prostitute? I'm serious.
Sir, please leave me alone.
That's okay. I don't care.
Leave me alone.
All you want.
I don't want proof of this. Please leave me alone. Please leave me alone. Leave me alone. Please.
Stalking is a felony crime in Oklahoma. It also is interstate crime for Mr. Perry. Charles Perry lives in Texas, has a wife, 2 kids, and is a church deacon, an elected official, a sex trafficker. He's exploiting women and children. He's a sadist, a sexual dysfunctional sadist, an addict or something. Peepin' Tom, hacker. He's a serial killer. I'm the one that caught it, so he's trying to, ruin my reputation. I don't go out with a man unless he defends my honor. I don't become the subject of a smear campaign. I don't date men unless they make sure I don't miss a meal. I don't date men who peep, and I don't date men who are fat and lazy and pervert. I date men who are very, very busy working and have something interesting to talk about. I already know what I did all day, Mr. Perry. You are a bizarre bore, and a sex offender, and a cop killer. Use allegedly. Nobody's been found guilty in a court of law yet. Apply the but-for legal standard, the proximate cause standard, which is pretty much the same thing. But for Mr. Perry committing a crime against me, we find out before he does it, not after, because it's different when they do it to me, and they have yet to figure out why that is. We get it before we get the premeditation, the malicious aforethought. I intended to hurt her. I sat down and I planned it, and then I tried to execute that plan. Sometimes he does, sometimes he doesn't. That is all. I didn't invite you to Oklahoma. I came here to be with my family, not be alienated from my family, but be with them. And get away from you, weirdo. You're not my cup of tea. So, Mr. Perry is a rejected failure, too stupid to figure out how to move on like the rest of us do when we are rejected. He has trafficked me. He sold me to some fat, lazy slob, sex weirdo, just like him, deviant, in Houston, who has a real estate firm, apparently. I understand. He thought he was going to force me against my will to do something I have zero interest in. And be a realtor for what, a week, and then y'all murder me? I know too much about your crime. $25 million. What did that cover up exactly? What did that cover up? Don't forget who caused all this stuff. Y'all all act like you have no fucking idea what it means that I know all that. Who is the Muffin Man? Who is Monique? Muffin Man is a nickname for one of your people. Who is Lucius and Calvin? Sanjay, Reuben, James, Beverly. Who are those people, Charles? Blankenship, Desiree. You better wake up. Stupid. Wake the hell up. You're in a lot of trouble. So are you, dumb David. We're getting sick of this. I don't know what's taking our guys so long. We'd like them to hurry up and arrest y'all so I don't have to live like this anymore. But the longer you're bothering me, the more we get. So it may be that they're gonna let you just pile it all up. Pile as high as you want. As long as I'm, not dead. I'm definitely, it doesn't get any better than when the bad guy comes right to you. And just one thing after another, and you can just charge after charge after charge after charge after charge. How much restitution are me and Michael Neely gonna get? What about your other victims? The more we get, the easier it will be to get a conviction. Maybe that's what's taking so long. And the more in restitution they can seek on our behalf. Plus civil suits after that. But so we apply the but-for legal standard, the proximate cause. You're the causation, sir. And I assert all constitutional rights against misogyny and gender discrimination, which we have a problem with here in Oklahoma. Something terrible. That's a Noah's Ark, hillbilly. I don't even get it. But when a woman comes to a cop and says, I need some help, I got a stalker, you better fucking take care of it. Because our murder rates have gone up in Oklahoma since 2020. They went up 44%. Domestic violence victims are killed. And those children have no mom. And that's your fault. That's your fault. So, I assert all constitutional rights, but that's one in particular I'd like to bring out. There's a thing called Title 18 of the United States Code 1512 and 1513 and all applicable state laws against perjury, obstruction of justice, retaliation, witness tampering, suborning perjury. You're something, Mr. Perry. You don't have any chance of a date with me. None. And everybody's really sick and tired of hearing it. I mean, we can get information like that, and you can't get shit. I just named off a bunch of your people. You have not one name of anybody giving me the information that comes from you to me before you do it. You wanted to raid the club where I worked. You want to raid the club where I worked. You wanted to take my car. If I can just take her car, everybody's like, does he not know he's caught? No, he doesn't. Our shrink said a long time ago, Mr. Perry, I believe, is severely mentally ill and severely mentally retarded. Has no fucking idea what he's saying to him. That he doesn't know. We didn't know at the time. She said, I think he's got Alzheimer's or senile dementia or something. He needs to be seen by a doctor. Well, it turns out he has Huntington's disease. We found that out too. It causes paranoia, delusion, psychosis, hallucinations, and no cognitive reasoning. So the delusion, the paranoia, the hallucinations is all the mental illness, psychosis. The mental retardation would be the cognitive reasoning. When you fuck with me, you get caught. When you fuck with me, David, dumb David, you get caught. When any other victim have the information we have and before, how do I get that, David? Name my guys. Name one. Yeah. So you thought people I keep in touch with where I worked, would leak. And why are you talking to them, Mary Charles? Why are you talking to people in a strip club, sir? Where I am is none of your business, stalker. You stay away from me. You're just like this guy.
Just talk to me for 2 minutes and I'll leave you alone.
Oh my god. It's too damn early for this shit. Leave me alone.
How do you dress like this? Are you a prostitute? I'm serious.
Sir, please leave me alone.
That's okay. I don't care.
Leave me alone.
All you want.
I don't want proof of this. Please leave me alone. Please leave me alone. Leave me alone. Please.
Just talk to me for 2 minutes and I'll leave you alone.
Oh my god. It's too damn early for this shit. Leave me alone.
How do you dress like this?
Here's the funny thing. I kept saying he's trying to starve me until I lie, which means I'm telling the truth now. I'm telling the truth now. And they've tried very hard to starve me until they got me kicked out of my home, which I had a bunch of emails to my attorney. They're trying to get me kicked out of my home. Now they're trying to take my car. Perry was recorded telling somebody in August 2019. It's not legal, but I'll have her car towed and sold before she figures that out. And then it was wrecked 5 times. Right at the wheel. Most of the time it was wrecked right at the wheel. And you guys are off your nut if you think people don't think you did that. I think you should know they do believe you did that. My complaint to Officer Neely was about my car, vandalism to my car. And Mr. Perry was recorded and recorded and recorded and recorded. Please take her car away, then she'll call me, then she'll like me. Yeah, I don't think so. That's not how that works, weirdo. So, I mean, definitely severe mental illness, severe mental retardation. When you do the crime to me, it's different than when you do it to everybody else. You get caught before, not after. I found out you have Huntington's disease. I'm naming your people. Beverly, Kate, who's that? Who's Monique? Don't contact me. I fucking hate it. Don't. He's typing in my phone. We're gonna find you. We're gonna ID you. Yeah, we said that about 3 days ago, that you guys were recorded talking about that. And today you got recorded talking about, we think where she's at right now, she'll stay there till about March, when she's supposed to get a check. How would you know? But, I mean, you shouldn't know, and it's none of your business, is it? So we got about till March to get an ID from her. Yep, we heard you. What police have that? When are they going to arrest y'all? What day? How high are they going to let it pile up? You realize that maybe some of the delays is they're letting it pile up so we get more money in restitution. Did you ever think of that, dumb David? Okay, so here's the thing that I noticed when I was dancing. So remember this, Dave. Write this down, David. Dumb David. 6 years in a strip club. Not one slip up. I got bored. I even told you that. I remember sitting on your lap at Lady Godiva's putting up with your bullshit so I could get my evidence. And I looked at you and I said, if you're gonna do this, at least make it a challenge, because you're boring me to tears. I'm good at what I do, David. I'm very smart. I'll play stupid sometimes. I want the guards down. I want everybody's guard down. So I'll pretend like I'm as dumb as a brick. Oh, I just didn't know. Oh, what is that again? Would you? Yeah, I don't understand. Explain that again. Yeah, I can play it up as, I'll even say this and they still won't get it. I said, if you got the way that you sting up somebody, because you're boring me to tears and I want a challenge. I haven't gotten one yet. Since you keep sending these whack job guys you hire come in and pretend to be customers and buy a dance from me, trying to get something out of me that you think you can use, or who's helping me. What you do, Dumb David and Dumb Charles, is you get 1 or 2 or 3 guys that come in all the time and as regular customers and just chat. And then you start developing trust and rapport. And then something will usually slip out. That's what I do. And no, we can't do that. We're going to send a bunch of weirdos in to ask you all kinds of weirdo questions going to make you uncomfortable and not pay you anything. So we cut off all conversations just like that. Somebody commented on that. I thought it was funny as hell. He goes, these guys are stupid. They're hiring these people to go in to talk to her. And she won't sit with them if they don't spend any money. She's in a strip club. That's her work. That's her job. You go to work, you expect to be paid. Strippers are no different. It's not a free show, you fucking freeloaders. So you send somebody in, he's sending these people in, and all they do is sit there and say weird things to her and ask her a bunch of intrusive questions that normal customers don't ask. And they don't buy anything from her, so she gets up and leaves. And cuts off all communication right there. You have zero chance of getting anything out of her after she walks off. You're done. And then she was trying to write. So if she was writing, she's at home alone, writing, making money that way. They cut that off, and they get her door dashing. Can't make money any other way. So she's door dashing to their people because they hacked her DoorDash. I don't know what his people are telling her. She's in and out of restaurants. She's in and out of people's homes. Not in their home, but interacting with his people. We don't know which ones are leaking. I have zero way to tell who leaked, which restaurant, which one of his. We don't know. That was the dumbest thing they could do. And talk about stupid criminals. It's so easy. It's not fair, right, dumb David? I mean, I flat told you what to do. Not because I'm trying to help you. There's no fucking way I'll help you. It's just I'm that good at what I do. And I know you're not. You're not going to find somebody. And I'm trying to even just make it a challenge for me. And I flat told you that before you did the little false arrest, attempted murder, false arrest when she didn't die. Same thing you did to Officer Neely. Remember that? Looked you right in the eye. If you're going to do this, you're fucking boring me to tears. It's a big yawn. At least make it a challenge. Dumb David. He doesn't understand words either, I don't think. I think he's got some kind of similar mental illness or retardation problem just like Charles does. You gotta be stupid to be a criminal. Anyways, okay, so there's this one chick at my club that I'm watching her. She would announce it through the fucking whole place. I sell drugs. You want shrooms, I got shrooms. You want anything, I got it. Opioids, I got that. You want whatever it is you want, I got it. Never even tried to hide it. And these guys would buy her drugs, but then she would try to hide how she was paid. I guess. I don't know why she did. I think she was high all the time. Didn't even know what the hell she was saying. But so she would slip these guys the drugs. And next thing I know, she sucked on stage. I mean, sucked something bad. She's not that pretty. And she'd get $1,500 thrown at her. And I'd be like, how the hell does she do that? She sucks as a dancer. She can't dance. And number one. Number two, she's not that pretty. Why is everybody else is getting, a couple $100 on stage? She's getting $1,500 on stage. How the hell did that happen? And I'm starting to watch. Something's off with that. I'm starting to kind of watch, and I'm seeing her slip these guys drugs, and then they would walk up and throw that money on that stage. Well, they're paying for those drugs they just bought. It's called money laundering. It's a brilliant plan if you think about it. It's very hard to prove. The money they just threw on stage was drug money. I was like, wow, that chick is smart. Except when she goes through the whole club telling everybody I'm selling your drugs. Let me know if you want any. Uh, I you know, I was amazed. I was like, that if she would put that into legal business dealings, she'd be rich and not have to worry about getting arrested. Well, she did get arrested. They had her go to drug court. And this chick is one of those chicks that one day she would be very nice. She'd walk up and hug you and, hey, how you doing? And the next day just rip your head off for no reason. Just real moody like that, real almost schizophrenic, like just up and down with the mood. And one night I was sitting with a customer, and he said something funny, and I started laughing, and it just so happened that she was sitting in front of me, and so I was kind of, right in front of me. I was looking right at her because she was right in front of me, and she jumps up and got in my face, and if you laugh at me again, I'll beat the fuck out of you and blah. And I looked at her and I said, listen, chickie, I'm gonna tell you something. I get that you younger girls need to prove something and who's tougher and who can beat up who. I'm not. That's not me. I don't give a fuck. You hit me, I'm gonna let you hit me. And then I'm gonna call it in, and you're gonna go to jail for assault. You need to chill. I wasn't laughing at you. And she got real quiet and turned around and walked off, and I never had another problem with that, with her, ever. But so she gets arrested. She goes to drug court. And finally, it starts acting like a normal human. Frankly, the arrest and drug court was the best thing that ever happened to her, because she put weight on. She didn't look like a beanpole. And she started talking like a normal person, and didn't have the mood swings, and didn't have, all this strange personality, whatever, disorder, something. And she just actually became a very pleasant person to be around. But here's my point, that besides all that, is I'm watching that go on, and with her and another two or three, and I'm thinking, where's the local cops? Where's the local undercovers? But I can tell you right now, the owner has no fucking idea what they're doing. It wouldn't occur to him. The managers, no fucking idea what they're doing. I'm sitting there watching it, and I'm starting to figure all this out, but I didn't go running in and telling them. I'm just kind of watching it at this point, and just kind of going, wow, that's a fucking great money laundering scheme they just did right there in this drug sales. They've laundered the money before it ever exchanged hands. She's giving them the drugs. They're not giving her money for the drugs. They're throwing it on stage. So it's technically stage money. Wow, that is unbelievably smart. It's laundered immediately. I don't even know what to say. So, what can you do? But I'm like, why do we always? There was this one old dude that would come in from the day that club opened and talk about how the cops were gonna shut it down. Every fucking time he comes in, they're gonna shut this place down. The Amish people don't like it. They don't like this strip club. That fucking Mays County Sheriff's Department is all over this club, and they're gonna shut this place down. And he said that all the time, and we got tired of hearing that. Really tired of hearing that. And it was like, and somebody it said to me the other day, did you not know he's a cop? And I started laughing. I go, the dude's not a cop. He's a veteran of the military. He's not a fucking cop. So you need to relax. They're gonna do a raid. I get y'all have been told that, and he's one of them telling you that. Go to the sheriff's department and talk to him about it. If you're worried, just walk in there and ask him. Just go ask him, are you guys going to raid that club? I'm work there. I'm running a clean business. I really don't want to get swept up in something like that. Why don't you go in there and just talk to him about it? Just sit down and have a conversation. I'm not seeing locals. I'm not seeing Mays County undercover detectives or narc cops sit behind these drug dealers. I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing DEA. I'm not seeing feds. I'm not seeing shit. So what is it that they're catching? What is it what are they doing? What is they going to raid for? Because I'm not seeing a police officer in here watching these drug dealers do drugs, sell drugs, buy drugs, and throw money on stage, trying to money launder that cash immediately. I'm watching it. Where are they? Where are those guys? Go into Mace County and ask them if you think there's going to be a raid. Go ask them. Are you guys going to raid that club? Why aren't you watching the drug dealers in there? They don't buy anything. They're fucking taking up seats. They're not in there to buy. They're in there to do business. They're in there to work. They're in there to make money. They're in there to take, not buy. So go in there and straighten it out with the sheriff. Gets real quiet. Oh my God. Yeah. What do you, and tell that old dude, shut the fuck up, dude. Why don't you come in here and have a nice time and quit trying to scare everybody? Quit trying to scare everybody. Now Mr. Perry's jumped on board with him. We're gonna raid the club. Like you took my car. Like you got me kicked out of my apartment. Like you got a peeping Tom problem. Little pervert. Little sex offender pervert. See, I know you have Huntington's disease. What cop told me that? Which of the cops that are investigating you told me that? There's 40 of them, sir. There's a shrink that I said, why is he not embarrassed? He embarrasses the fuck out of me. I wouldn't walk into a room with that bitch for millions. He's weirdo. There's no fucking way. And she goes, I told you, he's severely mentally retarded and severely mentally ill. He has no idea he should be embarrassed. Not a clue. You know, there's people around him. I assure you, we get all of this. They're as embarrassed as you are by this guy. I've never seen a grown man. Oh, let me tell you. When I speak in the third person, I'm quoting someone else. There was a meeting in which Mr. Perry was told, let her go, because this is becoming a big problem for all of us. And he's clenched his fist and threw a fit and acted like a damn fucking 2-year-old. And in my life, I've never seen a grown man act like Mr. Perry act. It embarrassed me. I had to leave the room. I wanted to barf. It embarrassed me that bad. It was sickening. He acts like a fucking 2-year-old. He's like a 70-year-old old man who acts like a fucking 2-year-old. What do you even do with that? What the hell do you even do with it? How shameful. How embarrassing. What a disgrace. I was raised in the home of an elected official. My granddad was an elected official, Mr. Perry. My family was the power in the town where I grew up, sir. And I tell you what, if we did not behave, oh my God, we got in trouble. Don't embarrass Granddad. Don't embarrass Granddad. You better chew with your mouth shut. You better sit up straight. You get your elbows off the table. You say yes, ma'am, and yes, sir, and no, ma'am, and no, sir. And you don't speak unless you're spoken to first. You don't butt into other people's shit, Mr. Perry. If you're not asked, shut up. Shut up. You don't act like this.
Sir, please leave me alone.
That's okay. I don't care.
Leave me alone.
All you want.
I don't want proof of this. Please leave me alone. Please leave me alone. Leave me alone. Please.
Just talk to me for 2 minutes and I'll leave you alone.
Oh my God. It's too damn early for this shit. Leave me alone.
How do you dress like this? What are you a prostitute? I'm serious.
Sir, please leave me alone.
That's okay. I don't care.
Leave me alone.
All you want.
I don't want proof of this. Please leave me alone.
Yeah. Maniac. Peepin' Tom is a sex offense. And we know you killed Lucky and drugged Mike and framed him. So you're a cop killer. Guess what, Mr. Perry? I'm smart. But there's a lot of smarter police officers across this country that are a whole lot smarter than me. That can look at all of that stuff on Mike Neely, look at a picture of him and go, yeah, he can beat shit. There's no fucking way. And they hate you, David. Seething, loathsome hatred. So when these drug dealers, by the way, go into a strip club and take up a chair and put a lot of money on the stage. Did you know the club makes $0 from the stage money? None. They make zero money from stage. They're not spending anything where the club makes money, like on a VIP or a lap dance or a ladies' drink or any of that stuff where The club makes money. Do you really think the club wants them in there? No, they do not. They're denying money from the club. They won't buy dances, they won't buy drink, they won't buy shit. But they'll throw money on stage, and the club doesn't make any money from stage. Right? The club doesn't want them in there. But I've not seen one narc cop, undercover cop, one DEA agent, one Fed, one FBI agent. Not one. In that club where I worked, looking at those guys. I'm watching them. Where are you? Mays County? Don't you have a narc cop? Don't you have undercovers? I can't tell you how many locals I've said, you guys don't fucking know how to do undercover work. You suck at it. You do. You suck at it like a motherfucker. And I'm like, well, how do you do it? Well, here's the thing. I'm not going to, that's you. You figure it out. I'm not going to do your, I've done more than you have already on the murder of a police officer who's a local cop. The attempted murder. And they drugged Mike, and they tried to drug me. We didn't die, both of us, within a week. They got a false arrest going. Mr. Perry enjoys perpetrating a deception, an intentional deception and fraud upon a court of law. He's going to go to jail for that, Mr. Powell. You better watch it too, sir. You're something. You think you're the good one in all of it. No, you're not, sir. You are absolutely not. You better get off your high horse, because I think you're going to end up finding out the hard way that you maybe shouldn't have bragged, does she have any authority? Right now you don't get to know that. Right now you don't. How many times, though, have I'm not going to say that because I feel like that would be revealing too much. But, right now you don't get to know that, sir. I'm something. You're breaking the law. You've been told to stop. That's all there is to it. If it's illegal, don't do it. I remember when y'all, illegally detained me for 2 months for doing something by law I had to do in Oklahoma where I lived. And you knew that. And you destroyed all my evidence of attempted murder in the process, and obstructed justice. Mr. Perry, will you please shut up? No one asked you what you think. Get out of my phone. He types in my other phone, and sometimes when I say, cut that the hell out, he will stop. No one asked you what you think, did they, Mr. Perry? No one asked you, did they? No one cares. We're all sick of hearing it. You need to shut up too, both of you. So I'm over there, and those chicks, Mr. Powell, just so you know, those chicks over there, we're talking about what you guys were doing to me, and one of those little girls, about 18 years old, she looked at me and she goes, they didn't think that through, did they? I said, no, they did not. And she goes, that's the guy that has us all in here? I said, yep. She goes, wow, what a dumbass. I go, Cracker Jack box law degree. Remember those words. That's that guy has a Cracker Jack box law degree, and you need to talk to your attorney about it, because he is not the brightest bulb, and he's the DA of a small, rinky-dink town, whatever. I don't have any words, Mr. Powell, for the shit you've tried to pull that you got caught on. What happened before I got to Lubbock? Why is it that they moved me to Lubbock, Mr. Powell? Do you know? Why did they move me to Lubbock? Because I've quoted you too. She torpedoed my case. Didn't you tell people that? You told people that. When I was in jail, you had a couple of meetings with Mr. Perry, at which time you said, is it possible this is personal? Look me in the eye and tell me if this is that this isn't personal. And I know that because I heard it, sir. You don't know what you're doing. But you're getting people killed. And Chief Miller is a casualty of your failure, as much as TPD. We're not okay with that. There are cops all over this country that can look at all of that and go, wow, what pieces of shit. That is not justice. And they don't need to be in the justice system if that's how that pathetic they're gonna do in their job. Law enforcement is to relieve suffering caused by crime, Mr. Perry, Mr. Powell. And you guys love to go into a court of law and bold-faced lie under oath. So our guys are going to get you. How many charges will they pile on you for fraud upon a court? Perjury, Mr. Powell. Yeah, you need to, can we just get Frank Morrison to say she misunderstood him? Ooh, I'm the only, no one speaks for me, Mr. Powell. I'm the only person that tells everybody what I understood, okay? And you were told maybe by Mike Neely. They don't tell me who I'm listening to. There's a reason for that. It's very strategic. And we don't owe you an explanation right now. I got to know Powell's voice from all the recordings of him talking to Charles Perry. Wiretap orders up the yin yang. Because these people are very, very, very bad people doing things that are very, very bad and hurt people in a way they'll never get over. I'm one of those people. I'm one of those people. Do you know I have not cried in years? My shrink said you can't cry because Mr. Perry is a sex sadist. He thinks that's a date. He's that weirdo. So you're gonna have to hold. I'll teach you what to do. And she did. She had to work with me. It took a while, but she taught me what to do so that I don't cry. It is a matter of shifting your thoughts onto what is good right now. What's good happening right now? I just lost my home. I just lost my car. I just lost everything I have. I just lost family heirlooms because Mr. Perry carried out his threat to take everything I have to try to coerce a lie. And they thought I would cry. Now they're threatening a raid at the club where I worked to intimidate those people they think are leaking. And yet I never saw a cop in there watching a drug dealer. They don't want the drug dealers in there. They don't buy anything. They're not there for that. They're there to do business and sell. They're using their facility to do illegal business. You think they want them in there? They don't want them in there. Yeah. So, where were they? Where's DEA? Where's FBI? Where's local narc guys? Where are they? Where's Mays County? Why aren't they watching them? I watched them. I was like, wow. These people, if they would put that intelligence behind legal business, they'd be wealthy and not have to worry about getting arrested. And this stuff I'm watching is fucking brilliant. Money laundering, immediate. This is something. I don't know how they thought of that. I wouldn't have thought of that. That's fucking smart. Anyways, so he says, well, you can say that. This was about text between Mr. Perry and I, because he was telling everybody we were having an affair, and I was pissed. I was like, yeah, we are not having an affair, Looney Tune. Stop, tell your employees to stop saying that kind of shit, Robin and Carl Tepper. So he says, you can say that, Mr. Powell, but, everybody's going to know you're full of shit. You know how? Because Mr. Perry never asked Cynthia why she's pissed off, which means he already knew. And he never denies spreading rumors of an affair. He denies having employees. Well, we all know he has employees. She named them, Carl and Robert Tepper. So, what planet, what kind of stupid are you that you would even ask that question? Yeah, see, yeah, you go around bloviating like, oh, I'm the good one. Is she having the authority? I think it might be too late before you get to know that, sir. But, do what you do. This is something.
Please leave me alone. Leave me alone. Please.
You sound like that guy, all of you. It's stupid and Looney Tuning. You don't even make sense any more than he does. I moved twice, Mr. Powell, to get away from all you Lubbock shit. There's like 5 people in Lubbock that I respect, and I don't know how they stand it there. It's a pile of shit. Tommy Tuberville said this is like Iraq. And let me tell you, I was doing business with him, and they were telling me long before he left that he was going to leave. Everybody in there hated it. All his team fucking hate this town. It's weirdo. And I go, yeah, I know. I agree. I'm leaving too. And we all left. Fucking Iraq. Tommy Tuberville didn't even dignify you bitches with a goodbye. They thought he went to the bathroom. He just got up and left. Because you're that yuck and that ugly. You proud of that, Mr. Powell?
Just talk to me for 2 minutes.
Oh my God. It's too damn early for this shit. Leave me alone.
How do you dress like this? What are you a prostitute? I'm curious.
Sir, please leave me alone.
That's okay. I don't care.
Leave me alone.
All you want.
I don't want proof of this. Please leave me alone. Please leave me alone. Leave me alone. Please.
Just talk to me for 2 minutes and I'll leave you alone.
Oh my God. It's too damn early for this shit. Leave me alone.
How do you dress like this? Are you a prostitute?
Mr. Perry, you're creepy. Has your creepiness ever fixed your problems, or does it make them worse? See, you're too stupid to know. You don't even know, do you? You don't even have any idea what I just said, do you? Yep, doesn't understand a word you say. Like this guy here, I mean, look at the frustration with that other, look at, this is how other people see you, Mr. Perry and Mr. Powell.
That's okay. I don't care.
Leave me alone.
All you want.
I don't want proof of this. Please leave me alone. Please leave me alone. Leave me alone. Please.
Just talk to me for 2 minutes and I'll leave you alone.
Oh my god. It's too damn early for this shit. Leave me alone.
How do you dress like this? What are you a prostitute? I'm serious.
Sir, please leave.
That's okay. I don't care.
Leave me alone.
All right, so some of those chicks in that Lubbock jail, they're like 18 years old, and everybody would be kind of sitting there talking, and you know, what are you here for? Well, I did XYZ, and I did it. I'm guilty. I did it, and I take full responsibility, and I'm going to try to use this as an opportunity to get my attention so that I change. And Mr. Powell, I have a whole lot more respect for those young girls in that jail that you put them in for drugs or something. One of them had an armed robbery charge. She goes, my boyfriend and I needed some drugs, and we got a gun, and we robbed a store, and got $35. And my life is over 35 bucks. But the thing is I made that decision, and I own it. It was, you know, I was stupid, and I wish I hadn't done it, but I did, and I'm taking full responsibility. And I went, wow. And guess what? That little pussy that runs the office that put you here will not do that. He won't do it. He's a coward, and he's pathetic. Because I'm hearing them talk right now. Is it possible this is personal? And yet here I sit, because he knows something's wrong, and he didn't even look. I got no blood test. There was no proper collection of my evidence. It was the law. It is the law in Oklahoma. When you want a protective order, you have to get a police report. They allowed no investigation. I lost my home, and I heard him tell Mr. Perry she was displaced. You need to tell me if this is personal. He knew it, and he let me sit there anyway, and all my evidence worked its way out of my body, and made zero effort to properly collect and preserve as is required by ABA. I said he won't do he will blame everybody, and he won't be as man as you are. And I'm talking to little girls. You're a bigger man than that little bitch is. And that's true. I have not seen it. I don't go by what people say. I go by what they do. I don't get people say anything. People say all kinds of stuff. I want to see what you do. And it's embarrassing, Mr. Powell. It's embarrassing. I think it's a good thing you and I didn't meet, because I'm very vocal. And I would have said something, because I'll pick up on it pretty quickly when something's wrong with somebody and they're doing shit they shouldn't be doing. I'll pick up on it, and you know that. You're seeing things happen you've not seen before. You're seeing stuff y'all hid all your lives. I catch it. It's different when you do it to me. Right? I can outsting up. I mean, shit. I've outsting up the lot. I have a skill that is a talent God gave me, and I'm really good at it. And so we have more than anybody's ever gotten before. Y'all have done this shit, this corruption shit, for a long time. And guess what, Mr. Powell? People are sick and tired of it. People are extremely, sir, sick and tired of you and Charles. Poking, peeping. You know, his guy calls him, your guy calls you a poking, peeping, pink panty, pathetic Perry. And he said a lot more than that, but I'm not going to say it. I'm not. Certain things you don't need to repeat. But you're getting on everybody's last nerve, just like this guy. She had to say, leave me alone 6 times, and he didn't respond like he understood her. Instead, he's talking about her clothes. Guess what? Did anybody ask you, Mr. Neal? No, they did not. That's not what she said at all. What she said is, fuck off. Fuck the hell off. Right? Can you not understand what people say, Mr. Perry? You embarrass the hell out of me. I'm telling our shrink, why is he not embarrassed? Embarrasses the fuck out of me. I wouldn't walk in a room with somebody like that for millions. There's no way. There's no damn way. Well, I told you, he is mentally retarded. He doesn't know he should be embarrassed. He has no idea. Doesn't even know what you're saying. Can't put two and two together to save his life. He's got something wrong with him. At the time, she said Alzheimer's or senile dementia. Now we know it's Huntington's disease. When you contact me, Mr. Perry, we get more information like you got Huntington's disease. We don't know what David's excuse is or Powell's.
I don't want proof of this. Please leave me alone. Please leave me alone. Leave me alone. Please.
Just talk to me for 2 minutes and I'll leave you alone.
Oh my god. It's too damn early for this shit. Leave me alone.
How do you dress like this? What are you trying to prostitute? I'm serious.
Sir, please leave.
That's okay. I don't care.
Leave me alone.
All you want.
I don't want proof of this. Please leave me alone. Please leave me alone. Leave me alone.
That's okay. I don't care.
Leave me alone.
All you want.
I don't want proof of this. Please leave me alone.
Hey men, leave women the fuck alone. When they're in public, when they're doing anything, you don't have the right to their attention. You don't have the right to step into their personal space. You don't have the right to them. Especially if they're making it very clear they don't want to be talked to. But even when they're not, unless a woman is giving you enthusiastic and continuous body language and signs that she wants to talk to your ugly dumbass, then leave her the fuck alone. Find a date a different way. Okay? It's not clever. It's not cool. It's not cute. It's garbage. It's absolute garbage behavior. And you're a garbage person if you do it. I don't care if it's in public. It doesn't fucking matter. You don't have the right to her. You need to leave her alone. And this is bacon.
That's okay. I don't care.
Leave me alone.
All you want.
I don't want proof of this. Please leave me alone. Please.
Just talk to me for 2 minutes.
First, let me say that I'm happy that the lady in this video is okay. Second, let me break down what rape culture is. Rape culture is the fact that that man felt that he was entitled to some of this woman's time just because he said, let me talk to you for 2 minutes. Doesn't matter if it's 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 20 minutes. If she said no, no means no. Rape culture is the comments that she has on her video about how she should have just spoke to him or dressed differently. Rape culture is me taking the heat for calling out other men for their terrible behavior. Rape culture is trying to explain stuff as, oh, it's just locker room talk. No, it's not locker room talk. You should talk the same way wherever you are. We all know that rape is not about sex, it's about power. So for you to force yourself on somebody, even if you're just talking to them, is disgusting, dude.
Alright, now we have this page here. It's changed justiceforsin.wordpress.com. I didn't renew the domain name because right now that's not a priority for me. I've got other things I need to worry about, but this was my family. Okay, so I had a long history in government reform, which you could find here, that Mr. Perry took it off. Okay, notice what's at the top. Lymphedema group throws in the towel, which was bullshit, by the way. That is not, but he makes sure that's on there. Yeah, we heard you took off all the good stuff about what I did. Okay, so the date is January 31st, 2007. Okay, pay attention to that. We had not thrown in the towel. There was some misquotes or something. I don't know where this lady got this information, but it's not accurate. So pay attention to that date. Dates and times are very important in this case. Okay, I'm going to show this real quick. This is a child abuse thing I did in New Mexico. I didn't do state government reform. Let me do this real quick. This is Cynthia Ortiz, and it is the 13th of February, 2023. We already did the disclaimer. So, this was something that I did in New Mexico that was about having some oversight over faith-based teen rehab facilities after 2 of them made the news when children were hurt. One of those was my parents. So I had had my fill of kids calling me, telling me how my parents ruined their lives or their education opportunities or whatever. And the only thing I could do is what I did for a living, but I did it without charging anybody. I called Governor Martinez's office and Lieutenant Governor Sanchez's office in CYFD, and they had a fatality at Tierra Blanca Ranch there in New Mexico. And what I was told is their hands are kind of tied in some ways. there was a little bit more leeway with Tierra Blanca Ranch because it involved a dead child. So, but with your parents, it was a little harder to do because there's no government oversight. These are called churches, and so there's a respect for the separation of church and state and religion. So the government just can't go into a church. And I'm like, but it's a teen rehab facility. Yep, we get that. It's a school. Right, so they can go into a private school and look over that place, right? Well, it depends. Oh my God. Okay, so you need to tighten up your laws so that there can be some oversight when kids are getting abused. They are, that you shut the place down. And they agreed, and there was hang on. So there was a bill put into committee that would have given oversight. I did this basically so that I could go back to the kids that my parents ripped up their lives pretty much like they did mine and my kids, my family, and say, I can't undo what was done to you, but I can try to make sure it doesn't happen to the next kid. So there's a law that we're working on. Now, what happened with this is that the committee, the committee kicked it out and said there needs to be some changes here in the language. And when I read the language, I agreed that there was some black hole, too vague of stuff in it. And but we got kind of far with it. Then Mr. Perry had me false arrested, so now my reputation's shit, and that hurt all these kids. So you didn't just hurt me; you hurt everybody that I was trying to help. And so you're very, very hated. I mean, you're very hated man, Mr. Perry. You are very destructive. Very, very destructive. People usually want to make a positive difference in the world that they live in and want to leave the world a better place than it was when they got here. These people are the opposite. Charles, Lucius, Geppetto, Calvin. These people literally sit on their asses all day long and try to ruin. And David, dumb David. They all want to just ruin. It's shameful. And they don't think twice about it. So when we catch y'all, please understand everybody else does think twice about it. They're sick of it. They were sick of it before I ever got here. Dumb David. I mean, you guys are, you ruined an opportunity for some legislation to be done in New Mexico that would have helped kids not get abused and end up like you. Oh, mommy issues. Lonnie Athens is a criminologist at Seton Hall University, and we've had to study him in my classes, or gotten the opportunity. It's not had to. It was an opportunity I enjoyed, and he did some studying on victimization, brutalization, and he said only 99.9% of the population is not a violent offender, whether they were abused or not. He was abused as a child too, severely. And he chose to do something good with it. He's a criminologist sitting around studying how do we make this stop. Only 0.1% of the population acts like y'all. Just, mommy issues make me hurt people. Yeah, we don't care. We fucking don't care. You need to keep up with everybody else. So, them ruining my reputation, Mr. Powell, stopped me from helping kids that really needed help. Because there were kids that my parents abused, and you don't know a thing about that. You're too dumb to even look, aren't you? So there's that. Hang on. Alright, so we did an administrative request. Oh, look at that, February 29th. Yeah, after the 2007 article, it says we threw in the towel. Does this look like we threw in the towel? We put together a comprehensive plan of treatment and said, Medicare, we'd like you to approve this plan. And there was a whole bunch of people there. But notice there's only like 2 or 3 of us mentioned by name, and I'm one of them. Right here. Does that look like I threw in the towel? The article was written in 2007. Mr. Perry's making sure that's on Google. You can get Google to get rid of shit, which you don't have the right to do, Mr. I gotta smear you because I'm not good enough. Yeah, so there's that. I'm one of like 2 or 3 people mentioned by name in this. That what I said made sense. Right here, again. I mentioned actually twice. I'm mentioned twice. In 2009. After that 2000 article was written that said I threw in the towel. So, Mr. Perry, I'm going to tell you right now, fix that, or I'll sue the fuck out of you for that. Do you understand? I'm not asking you. I'm telling you. You will fix it. Okay? You don't get to smear me. You don't get to defame me. You don't get to slander me. And I'm sorry you can't keep up. That's your problem. You need to act your age. You're like 20 years older than me or something. You're a little old fart, aren't you? You gotta stoop to doing shit like that? I mean, I don't even have words for that, sir. You know, golly. Yeah, see, we did that in 2009, and this was in 2007. The bullshit. Okay, so then there's this that I did for Mr. Reeves. He said, you know, congratulations. If you got attacked, I was the campaign manager, not the candidate, and I got attacked by Texas Freedom Network. So he's basically telling me, congratulations. That means you made it, you know, you're doing something right if they attacked you like that, because, you know, that's the article they attacked me in. And I mean, they basically said I lied. I didn't lie. I don't remember even now what happened, but no, I don't care either. But you know, we got some of our stuff covered, like internationally. BBC covered us, NBC. I was the media person, so I did that. And this is actually from Mr. Perry. Where's the political vendetta, bitch? Yep, there's not one. You got delusion and you imagine stuff. You don't have any evidence of that. I met with Harry Reid. I met with John Ensign on my lymphedema stuff. Rick Perry. There's me with Rick Perry. Congressman Nagbauer. Sheriff Gutierrez. Bruce Schumeyer. You know, my son's dad is Brandon Rogue on the right. That's Little John. There's Little John took our son, him and his kid went bowling with Brandon and Tristan. This is Brandon on the right. Yeah. I mean, you live in Vegas, you meet famous people all the time. You're not going to be impressed by some lowlife, you know, nobody boring accountant with erotomania, bitch who's never been, you know, boring accountant. I mean, come on. You're not going to be impressed with anybody in Lubbock. This was what I did with Texas Tech, where I got to meet the people with, working for Tommy Tuberville. We sold these socks. See, she's wearing these socks. They're compression socks. Athletic compression socks. We sold quite a lot of those to Texas Tech University athletic team. There it is right there, Mr. Powell. You got to file a police report if you want a protective order. If somebody's threatening you with death and false arrest, you fucking need a protective order. I lived in Oklahoma, bitch, not Texas. And you set Mr. Perry down. What they did is they charged me after I filed a police report when they were trying to kill me, admittedly. Yeah, we gave you arsenic. So I filed a police report on the 21st of January, 2016. In October, I'd already emailed my ex-husband and said they're trying to find a way to false arrest me and smear me because I caught the stalking and sex trafficking. It's retaliation. They tried to accuse me of it. Less than a week, there's been no callback from TBD, but there's been no collection of evidence. There's been no blood test to rule out or confirm arsenic poisoning. There's been nothing. And I get a knock at the door. You're under arrest for filing a false police report in retaliation for a public servant doing his job as a senator over in Texas. And I'm talking to the cop, and I'm like, he goes, what is going on? Because he'd already been talking to me. I mean, he'd already had a call. Somebody tried to get in my house. And, what's going on here? And I said, you know, I filed a police report. You have to. It's the law. They knew that. They knew that. Because my first protective order was denied because I didn't bring the police report to court. They knew. And he goes, you need to talk to an attorney because I think this is obstruction of justice. I think this is an illegal arrest. But I'm not an attorney. You need to talk to your attorney. So, Mr. Powell, I mean, come on. This is, oh, look at that. That whole thing was over her car to deal with Mike Neely. Yep, there's all that Mike Neely stuff. Retaliation, witness tampering, coercion. These are the texts Mr. Powell said, can we just lie? If you say just in front of your lie, Mr. Powell, does that make it not a lie? Or any less wrong? Those little girls in your jail have more dignity, respect, and and courage than you will ever have. So, when they all told me they're going to send you home, harass the fuck out of you, and then claim you're harassing them when you tell on them, you need to know that. Do you not think, Mr. Powell, they did that? Because they don't think it's cute what you're doing, beating down women and kids. Do we not find her whereabouts? Why are you looking? Can we not get her whereabouts? Can we not get her ID? Can we identify her? Can you give me... There it is right there. What's her whereabouts? Mr. Powell constantly wants to know where I am. Why would you want to know where I am? I thought you're not a stalker. Stalking's a felony. So now they're all up in arms as how do we prove that we know where she is by legal means? Because we do know where she is, but we're not supposed to know where she is. We're not even supposed to care. And yet we do. So how do we do that? They had a big long talk about that today. Look at this, Mr. Powell. Here it is right here. The false arrest. Fraud upon a court. Mr. Perry loves to go into court and lie. Perpetrate an intentional deception. Right? Isn't that your thing? Because you're corrupt. Yeah, people are tired of it. That's why we can get information and you can't, Mr. Perry. Okay? I want you to write that down because we're tired of saying that for you over and over and over. It just things that don't click for you, do they? Alright, so here I go over the raid again. We're going to raid the club where she worked. Why don't you first come in and watch the drug dealers? Because we don't want them in there. They don't buy things from the club. They're laundering money, throwing shit on stage. Where are you? Yeah, I'm sitting there watching it, or I did before. Why don't you go in there and sit and watch it? Okay. There's the raid. Look at that. We think we have until March. Yeah, but they're not supposed to know about the check. When she's going to get, what the check is from, what it's for, or when she's supposed to get it. And here they are talking about it. We think when she gets that check, she might change where she's at. So we have until then to properly identify her. We heard you talking about it, okay? You're caught. Yeah. Because every time Mr. Perry contacts me, we get more. We find out more. Because I fucking hate it. It's creepy as fuck. He's a creepy guy. And it's weirdo. It's strange-o. Nobody asked him what he thinks. He was told, don't contact me. I fucking hate it. When he takes my money, when he causes a problem, when he creeps and peeps, he's a creepster. We get more. The longer Mike's in jail, the longer I'm broke because he's making me broke, we get more. Right, Calvin? Calvin is bald and fat. And yes, grouchy. So we got all this. Look at that. About my car. And they took it. Mr. Perry was recorded over and over and over. Please take her car away, then she'll like me. No, fuck no. Nope. I don't go out with a man unless he makes sure I don't miss a meal and defends my honor, sir. You're not even on the radar. Yep, there's the McNamara email before my false arrest. He's trying to do a false arrest. Right, David? What does it mean that I have that? Where that? Where that? Where that? What does it mean that I have all this, David? How did I know Mike was drugged before anybody else said it? Because you drugged him. That's how. 40 police officers. Who are they? Name one of them. Quote one of their meetings. We quote you guys every day. A lot of times, 2 and 3 and 4 times a day, right? It's that one. Yeah. He needs to be in a funny farm, guys. What about this one? Any other victims know that you're trafficking them before you traffic them? Mr. Realtor, pathetic fat piece of shit. You need to get a life. Have to buy a date. I don't even have words for that. Look at all that. Every time Perry contacts me, we get more. I fucking hate it. Every minute he invades my privacy, we get more. It's called karma, David. You invade my privacy, they invade yours. You guys are slow. All of this. We need her back in Texas so we can do more harm to her. get her kicked out of her home. It was an intentional effort to displace her. How'd you know Mike had to be coaxed and begged to go to Pensacola? Hansel and Gretel is what you call it, right? Right? Oh, there's also Dickie and Richard. Aren't that more people on your team? This? Who is this? Lucky? We could see pretty quickly that they were the ones doing the harassing, not her. Because they called us fucking constantly. We had other shit to do. You know when she called us? Never. She didn't bother anybody. All of this, Mr. Perry, when you contact me, we get more and more and more. When you invade my privacy, we get more and more and more. Because I fucking hate it. So in the past decade, there's never been a date. I can't stand you. You make my skin crawl. All of it. But you get caught. Rejected and caught and told on. Rejected and caught and told on. What problem has your doll saved you from? Tell us. You like a little doll, don't you? We hear you have a little doll you play with because you're weirdo. So, has it fixed any of your problems? I'm not seeing that it has. I'm seeing it's making more. What about your little voodoo Geppetto guy, your wiki witch? Has he solved any problems for you or making them worse? Yeah, I don't know. Call upon your Satan. See what that does. When they take so many of you, domestic violence offenders take the car. The DVIS has a ride program set up for victims of your crime. You're the causation. You're the proximate cause. You're the but for you did that, this other thing wouldn't have happened. It's all the same, right? I don't know. You can't put two and two together. How did she know Gene Mitchell's legal argument before he'd even made it? He wanted to know. She texted him and said, don't say that. It's bullshit. Doesn't even make sense. Sure as shit I did, see? Mr. Powell, do you see that right there? Protected address. That means you don't need to fucking know where I am. Okay? None of you need to know where the fuck I am. I moved to Oklahoma to be with my family and get away from you. Okay? You keep coming where I am, and everybody's sick of that. Yeah, get a life. And get out of mine. We need her to ID her. Everybody note for the record, he threatened to take my car, and he did. He threatened a false arrest, and he carried it out. He's threatened another one, and he's tried to carry that out. She's harassing us when she tells on us. Yeah. Threatened to get me kicked out of my home, and you did. Threatened to try to starve me until I lie, and you tried. I went days without food for a while there. Then, and a bath. And sometimes I still do, but it's a lot better than it was. What else? We're going to try to force her against her will back to Texas where we can hurt her more. Kind of like we did Mike and Lucky in Pensacola. And so we get more when you do that. You can't beat somebody's head so hard their head, they die of internal decapitation and have no injuries. You stupid little bitches. You didn't think I'd figure that out? Don't forget who caught all this. Me, I did. I have 40 cops helping me. Name one of them. Name one. Quote one meeting. We quoted you twice today. At least that's just what I quote. There's not even anything in the arrest report, injury-wise. Mr. Powell, you getting somebody pissed off at you. There's how did I know he was drugged before anybody else said it? They didn't take depositions till May. Yep. Who got that to me in jail, Mr. Powell? That's Fabian's name on there. It's not Charles's. It's not some random guy's name. It's Fabian's name intersecting with the word hope. I got that in jail. Okay? Yep. One day he'll kill me. You want me to be on the first 48? Where's my blood test? Where is it, Matt? You're supposed to preserve evidence and collect it before you deprive somebody of their freedom and their reputation. And you didn't man up and take responsibility as much as those little girls you have incarcerated over there. Because a bunch of them told me I did exactly what I was arrested for. I was stupid. I take full responsibility. I want to straighten out my life. And you're not even that good. You're pathetic. Look at all that. threats after threats. He's gonna take your car. And he tried. Wrecked it and wrecked it and wrecked it and finally just had it taken. Yep, once my driver's license, has my social security card stolen, my birth certificate stolen. He's trying to get my driver's license stolen because that's what you do in traffic. That's what trafficking guys do. So you're caught. Everybody's gonna, Mr. Perry, everybody's scratching their head going, does he not know he's caught? He acts like he has no idea. They're caught. Yep, because the guy's mentally retarded. That came from a doctor. That came from a doctor before we knew he had Huntington's disease. You know why we found out he had Huntington's disease? When he contacts me, when he takes my money, when he causes a problem for me, it pisses everybody off, good people. So they start digging into the crime so we can pile it up on him. And he goes to jail. There's no more of this. No more hurt people. No more ruined lives. No more devastation. And no more dead cops. And we're done. It's over. Nightmares are finally over. They're heroes. They can get information like that and you can't get shit. Because they're fucking heroes, Charles. You have zero chance of a date with somebody like me. I'll kick the fuck out of you. You get anywhere near me. And you know that. I mean, I'll kick the fuck out of you. Do you understand? You better have a football helmet on. I don't go where you are. I don't want you to come where I am. I'll kick the fuck out of you. I'm not gonna wait to see if you got a weapon. Arsenic or some shit. This is what was reported to Officer Neely just 6 days before Chief Miller's murder. So the motive is obstructing justice for the second time. 2 of us are poisoned and then false arrested within a week. Yeah, that's not... See, we catch your patterns the second time you do it, dumb fuck. You have taken a decade. When you do the crime to me, you get caught. When you do the crime to me, you get caught. When you do the crime to me, you get caught. Any other victim have the information I have? Yep. You dumb fuck. We gotta rule out entrapment, so please leave her alone for a couple weeks. Yep, they couldn't do it. No self-control and low IQs. All of them. It's embarrassing. So, does everybody know that we've all been told about a raid because you're worried, you want to punish people you think are leaking, right? We don't know who leaks are. I'm not told that, but you think they're leaking, so you want to do a raid. Never mind the drug dealers going in there. You ought to be watching them because that club doesn't want them in there. They're just sitting there taking up space. They don't make money off the stage tips. That's money laundering. Go in there and watch them. See if you can keep up with me. I want to see if there's any local cops that can fucking keep up with me and spot which drug dealers are doing that and which girls are doing that. If they're still there. Go in there and do it. I'll see. I'm going to see. Are you as good as I am at what I do and at what you do? I'm not a cop, but I'm something. I want to see if you can keep up with me. I don't think you can. So, that's a challenge. I'm giving you a challenge. I'm not trying to be a bitch. I'm trying to tell you, do the fucking job. Do the fucking job. I'm standing in there and I'm watching it and I'm catching it. I want to see if you can do the job. The same thing I'm doing. It's your job to do it here, so do it here. Catch the drug dealers that go in that club and buy drugs and pay the bitch with stage tips. If they're still doing that, my guess is they are. Go in there and see if you can catch them, because I don't think you can. I don't know that you can catch fuck. You're always after good people. You got to get cops from somewhere else to protect me. I mean, it's not locals getting us this, is it? Nope. Perry, Robertson, Powell, name one guy that's helping me. One. Quote one of their meetings. One. Locals, I want to see what you can do. Show me. I don't want to hear it. I want to see it. And that's it. We're done.